What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome to 2023. I'm super excited. I'm glad we made it through 2020, and we've got a lot of really cool stuff going on this side, and some stuff for you guys to use during this year. I hope you've taken December and really planned out what you wanted for 2023. You know, for us, one of the things we're excited about is 2023 being the year of community building on our side, and just really what that looks like, building that out and working together. And guys, you guys get to be the first to hear of what we're kind of announcing, what we're bringing out, and potentially be a part if you guys want to be a part. And so I'm really excited to launch that off. I've got a new team that's involved that we're pushing. I've got a video producer. I've got some people on the real estate side, and we've got some other cool stuff happening. And also during a time that's a potential recession, some strategies that are in place that we've really put together. You know, my goal, the reason why I'm doing this is personally, I am on a mission. Okay. I am on a mission to show people that life is worth being ambitious and pursuing your goals and removing the roadblocks out of the way. I've been on this for 10 years since I started on my entrepreneur journey. And it's super powerful for me. I do this for my family. I do this for my kids. And I do this, and I want to do this for the real estate investing community. And specifically, I want to be able to show people, how do you get financial freedom in real estate, right? How do you actually achieve that? If you've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you've talked to a number of investors, if you've gone to meetups, if you looked at stuff online or YouTube, like this dream of financial freedom. What does that mean? Is it $1 million? Is it $10 million? Is it the hustle and grind? Or is it just having enough money to feel confident that I can take care of my family? I can spend time with my wife and my kids. I can buy the car that I want, right? It's very personal. And that journey of being personal for me, going to Ireland and spending 3 months in Ireland twice, that's what it's about for me. And for different people, I know that freedom means different things. And so I've just really wanted to help. I've really wanted to go that direction. And as a real estate investor, like let's be real. As a real estate investor, there's a whole bunch of crap that we have to know, right? There's a whole bunch of crap we have to know. There's a whole bunch of crap we have to go through. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we have just got to figure out, right? And for me, over the 10 years, I've joined masterminds. I've met with the leaders of masterminds. I've met with multiple mentors and just stolen all their stuff to put in my business. And in stealing that crap, being able to turn around and execute on strategies, because we all know that finding deals is the key aspect to being a real estate investor. Your ability to find the discounted deals is the secret sauce. You can talk about dispo, you can talk about flipping a house, you can talk about the money, but finding the deals is the secret sauce. And there's just so much they have to figure out. And finding discounted houses, this is why people join masterminds outside of their communities. Outside of the community, they want to figure out, how do I find the best deals in any market? And then how do I buy them? So we just finished up, and I got my notes here just so I stay on track for you guys. So we just finished up basically putting together a new program. Okay. Basically, how do you immediately and consistently find deals and buy them and talk to sellers in the case? Because here's the thing, and this is what I've discovered. I've been giving away free content for now a month and a half, almost 2 months. Okay. I've been putting stuff on YouTube, sharing stuff here on Facebook. And, you know, I didn't realize how much of an impact it would be. And I'm going to get to that impact here in a little bit. But here's what I've really found, just giving away free content and people reaching out to me. One, wholesalers, they're trying to find good deals. They're trying to find good deals. Real estate investors are trying to find good deals. But really, there's this doubt in the back of our minds, like, dude, is this a good deal? Like, this wholesaler sending me these deals, is it good? And there's this uncertainty. Should I buy right now? Should I not? Is this a good deal that I'm getting from the seller? It's too destroyed, or it's not good enough. Should I do owner financing? And there's so much uncertainty on making these decisions on what makes a good deal and how do you find those to make sure that your deals that you're looking at are good. And I've walked through probably like 18 to 25 people I personally walked through just from reaching out to me, being like, Ronnie, hey, can you help me with this specific deal? By the way, if you guys have comments or questions, I put them in the chat, in the comment, because I want to interact with you guys. Okay. I'm live right now. This isn't pre-recorded, right? It's 1:20 right now on January 2nd. It's my son's birthday, by the way. But this thing of I want to find good deals, and the frustration that I feel trying to find deals, right? You get a whole bunch of these properties, they've already been remodeled, especially when you're in a smaller market like Grand Rapids. How do you filter through these from your system, from the people you're talking to? Like, there's so much to consider. And there's this just super frustration with this property that I'm looking at is either a piece of crap or it's already full remodeled. How do I find that diamond in the rough that's in the area that I want, that's in the location that I want, that's the type of property I want to invest in, that's something that I would buy, that's kind of like that unicorn? How do I find those? And how do I kind of put it out in the ether, right? How do I tell other wholesalers or realtors, or when I'm talking to a seller, how do I automatically pre-qualify rather than wasting my time, instead of dealing with this frustration of, I can't figure this out? And as I'm talking to people, that's something that's massive. Randy, what's up, man? I hope you're doing awesome. Thank you for wishing happy birthday to my son. It's an awesome day. He opened half his presents this morning, and we're going to open the other half tonight at the birthday party. We're inviting the family over. So, and the other common theme, actually, this is really interesting, guys. Stay here. I want to get to some cool stuff. I'm just going to give you some strategies here at the end. But another common theme that I'm running into when I'm talking to wholesalers and investors and buyers, I mean, really, I wholesale the property and like, dude, can I have more of these? Is this idea that they want freedom. They want to make $250,000 or $350,000, but instead, real estate is just another job, right? It's just another opportunity that's literally taken my entire focus. That I'm literally out there, like I'm answering phones, I'm getting up early, I'm focusing on my job, I'm figuring this out, and it's not the freedom. It's really a job rather than being freedom. It's sucking time, which is your most valuable resource. It's sucking your resources, right? Which is energy, people, relationships. And lastly, and this is the thing that really is scary to me. I was talking to another guy in South Grand Rapids who owns a brokerage here. He's like, dude, I'm talking to some lenders and people are calling up the lenders and just saying, I don't want to do this deal anymore, and giving them back, right? Like, I was talking to my old transaction coordinator and she's like, hey, a lot of people who are doing the business, they're just kind of filtered out. They just kind of, crickets happened. They just disappeared. And so what's happening is it's not just sucking time and resources, but it's draining people of their money because they don't know where to look and they don't know what to do and they don't know the direction to go. And so this is really why I've been focused on this. And so literally in the last 2 months, guys, here's what we've done. I've interviewed over 30 investors. Okay. They're coming out on my YouTube channel, which most of them have been raised. So I've interviewed over 30 investors and had legit conversations on and off the camera about what they're doing, how they're adjusting their business, all coming to you guys. Okay. And it's informed me in my own business. 2, I've given away basically my best strategies to people in my network and other wholesalers, from marketing, data management, and talking to sellers. I've created a framework so I could easily transition that. I've given that to 8 people and I asked them, and I believe I didn't get everybody's answer back, but I believe it's contributed to about $8 million in revenue in 2020, just, with me being able to help impact them. Okay. I've had 72 people join RonaldWalker.com at the Inner Forge for our resources. I've had 422 subs on YouTube starting from scratch in a month and a half. That's over it's exactly 60,761 views on the content on my YouTube channel at Forge to Win. And lastly, we've had a watch time, and this is probably the most crazy thing, which obviously I'm not a big guy. I've just been doing this for a month, but we've had exactly 893 hours and 20 minutes of watch time in a month and a half, guys. And here's the thing. I did not realize how much this was going to resonate with people. I just didn't. I just figured, you know what? People say put out a personal brand, just start talking about the stuff. And I realized that it's resonating with you guys, right? You guys are asking me, how can I get involved? What is this looking like? Because during this time, people are having a harder time than they're letting on, right? Wholesalers are having a harder time letting on, harder time finding deals, looking at that and looking at the resources. And so I'm doing this for you guys. Okay. I want to build my personal brand and I want to put stuff out there and I love it. And I want to help you achieve financial freedom. But I've been craving to share this. I've been in front of the camera for 4 years, not putting any content out because I was scared. And finally, Gabe Rodarte, a buddy of mine, reached out to me about 4 months ago and he sat me down. He's like, dude, you help people all the time. Why aren't you doing this bigger? Why do you have imposter syndrome? Why are you struggling with this? Get in front of the camera, get out of your own head and really help people. And that's what I'm here to do is I want to transition my own brand and really help real estate investors go to the next level like I've done for myself. And so this is what it is. I have some answers. I don't have all the answers. I have some answers. I have some formulas and I have transitions that I'm implementing in the current market and I've done in the past. I've been able to find strategies. I've been able to change the game in my own life to find deals in multiple markets. In Grand Rapids, in Dallas, my buddy John Garms and me did almost $200,000 worth of deals together because he's finding stuff in North Dallas. I've done deals in New York. I've done deals in Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Ohio, all with different strategies and finding them all over the country. So I know it works. Okay. I know that you can partner from subject to owner financing, to introducing that to the seller and the sales side. All of that stuff is things that you could do. Okay. Things that you can implement to make money in real estate and really get the freedom you want. So here's what it's all about. I've created what I'm calling the Acquisition University. Okay. You can see the link in the YouTube thing in the website in the description below. I put it down there. It's Acquisition University. And the goal here is to help you find deals. Okay. Help you find deals, help you manage your data, and help you talk to sellers. And not just here's a sales process, walk one step by two step and be a robot, but how do you really become a good salesman? What does a framework for leveling up your skills and not just following a process, but being able to ebb and flow through that process? What does that look like? Now, firstly, and I hate to do this for you guys who are brand new, but this is not for brand new guys. I'm not walking you through how to do a wholesale deal initially. Okay. I'm not walking you through exactly how to do real estate. There's tons of stuff on YouTube. Go look at that. This is for somebody who's in the business, who's trying to grow, who's involved, who understands. And it doesn't really matter if you're doing, 1-2 deals a month, if you're doing 3 to 5, if you've got a small team and you're trying to transfer this. This is to help you level up in finding the deals, managing the data, and talking to sellers. Okay. That's what Acquisitions University is about. And I heard it said, a buddy of mine, I think it was 3 years ago, told me that the journey to your first $1 million is like going through a jungle, right? It's like going to the Amazon forest, looking at it from the top, and then realizing that you're going into the abyss. And when you get there, what the first thing that happens when you walk in the forest, you're about 2 hours in, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going across this forest, I'm going to go get the gold or whatever treasure you're looking for. And a freaking tiger comes out of the woods and eats you, right? You're like, holy crap, I just battled the tiger. The next thing you do is as you're going, you realize there's this sheer cliff that you have to climb down, and you've climbed down it and you break your leg. Now you've got to figure out a shelter to get to hang out for a little while, right? You run across a bunch of monkeys and they decide to tell you, yo, you shouldn't be doing this. It's not worth it, right? All this stuff happens when you're on your journey to financial freedom and your first $1 million. And it's the hardest to do. It literally is the absolute hardest to do because you don't know what you don't know. And so the idea is a roadmap, right? Just like most things, the idea is a roadmap. So the meat of it really comes down to this, guys. The meat of it really comes down to this. Number one is focusing on marketing. How do you do the best channels, the channels that we're doing, and how do you maximize your marketing dollars so you're not spending thousands of dollars per lead, right? Because the average right now across the industry is like $5,000 per deal or something crazy. But how do you manage your marketing channels, not just do 1, 2, or 3, or have an inconsistent scattered approach, but how do you laser focus and say, yo, I'm doing 1, 2, and 3. Here's how I'm finding my deals, and here's how I create a consistent income. That could be relationships, that could be cold calling, that could be text messaging. It doesn't matter what it is. We're going to walk through those different sources. And really the focus is not just how to do the sources, but how to create consistency for you. Okay. That's the goal. How do you create consistency? So, you could be in commercial. I don't care. You could be doing storage units. The goal is consistency in lead generation. So you have people to talk to convert them into deals. I'm getting into commercial this year. right? It is on my agenda to buy my first commercial building. You know what I need to do? I need to get in front of people who can sell me that property. That's it. You get in front of them. And if you can get in front of them, which leads me to key thing number 2, then you can manage the data, whether that's the initial leads or it's the incoming ones. How do you manage the data to really turn it into this powerful engine that you can use it to exponentially grow rather than things getting lost in spreadsheets or on friggin' paper like this, right? How do you turn it into an opportunity to scale? What does that look like? That's what I'm focusing on. That's what I've been focusing on just the last 2 years, specifically with some commercial stuff with some of my buddies, but also on the single family, which I've been doing for 10 plus years now. And how do you decide that, you know what, I'm taking my data, I'm managing it correctly, I'm following up with the people, and I'm not spending skip tracing dollars on the same freaking lead 10 times, which I've done. Or from direct mail, how do I make sure I'm not paying 20 times the amount for this list that I'm going to direct mail than what I could have? I did, for instance, just a quick thing on List Source. I was paying ridiculous amounts of money for List Source leads 7 years ago before I figured out how to get it for significantly cheaper. And then the third thing is, how do you talk to these sellers? How do you talk to realtors? How do you talk to people? And yes, there is a step-by-step formula, right? Here's the conversation. But really, you know, it's about how do you become a better salesman? How do you decide that I'm able to level up, right? Going from level 1 in D&D up to level 7. So now I got these cool powers and moves and more resources for situations. How do I increase my ability as a salesman? What does that look like? And for me, I've done this 3x3 formula. It's basically 9 core areas that you can get better at to become a better salesperson. And that will allow you to transition from a seller call into a private money raising without needing an exact formula, script by script, to say, okay, what exactly do I say? No, you got a framework that when you interact with people, they want to do business with you. You've got snippets and formulas and ability to frame conversations and techniques and ways to get commitment. So you're not just saying, yo, will you marry me today? And then you're hoping they'll say yes when really you know they're going to say no. Okay. So the idea is to get a clear process for sales and a clear direction on how you can level up as an acquisitions manager, as an acquisition sales guy, to put that cornerstone in your foundation to success. These 3 things, and you will be able to become just a freaking ninja real estate investor, because that's what it's about. It's about finding deals and it's about converting them into revenue. And if you can find them, the rest is there. You can go figure out how to flip the house. You can figure out how to manage contractors. You can figure out how to find buyers to do it. You can JV with other wholesalers who have relationships. If you can find the deals and you can buy them and you can talk to people and level yourself up, you will never run out of work, ever. You will never run out because you have the skills in order to be someone who affects the economy in a good way. Why does the sales profession, why is it always something people are hiring? Because people are always trying to get more revenue. And what if you can do that for yourself? And that is the goal here with Acquisitions University. So this is what you get, okay? My goal is to help people get to $250,000. Go from 0 to $250,000 consistently in revenue as a wholesaler, being able to peel off the top properties for yourself that you can keep. So if you want $250,000 and you want to be able to do it consistently, that's what I'm focused on, okay? Being able to help you directly get into that direction. Because that $250,000, what I've found is that's when freedom, at least for me, was felt. Doing that in a year over and over again, scaling beyond that's very difficult. Okay. I'm just going to be honest. It's very difficult. I've done it and I've stepped back and I've done it again. But getting to $250,000 is something you can do. Here's the thing. 1 deal can get you 8 to 20,000. 15 deals can get you $250,000. I can help you get 15 deals. Okay. I can help you get 15 deals in 12 months. Okay. That might seem crazy, but it's possible. And depending on what you do with those properties is how much it impacts you. Number 2, you will get one-on-one access with me. Now it's limited for that because I don't have so much time and I don't want my whole day to just be on calls all the time. But my goal is for the people who want to jump in that you will get one-on-one access where I will be able to walk you through basically a number of times. There's a number of stuff. You can see more about that when you go to the link. Number 3 is I want to do an intensive 3-day with you in person where we're connecting on your business. We build a relationship. For me, this is not just a course, okay? Courses are great. I love courses. I buy them all the time. I buy books. But for me, this is the year I started off of community building. And I want to build a community of guys like you who are going to the next level, who want to make $250,000, who want to make $1 million. That, yes, we work together, but then you level up on me so I can learn from you. That's really my goal, because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I've just got a system and a proven process, and I love doing it. And I want to level up me, my family, and my community, and my team. And I want to help you get to that direction as well. So we'll do an in-person intensive one-on-one. We'll sit down and we'll just walk through that and what that looks for you. Okay. We'll help you with the acquisitions. That's the other thing that's really passionate about for me is I can show you the marketing. I can show you that. But when you get deals and you're not sure how to do it, you can escalate them to essentially me or my team, and we will help you close those deals. And some of the time, depending on what you do, we'll do it live. Okay. So that way everybody can see, everyone in the university can understand what does this look like and what does all that entail. And then there's a whole bunch of other cool stuff. Just to be honest, I could go through the list, but you can go to the website at Acquisition University. Go check it out. If you're interested, check it out. If you're not, don't worry about it, right? This is not for everybody. I don't need everybody to go and sign up. I don't need that from you. I want to build a community, and I want to see a core group of people go to $250,000 and beyond. And here's a bunch of really cool stuff to help give you the game-changing strategies that changed my life. And I want to give that to you guys. Okay. And that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. Winning. I learned this from a guy that I like to learn from. Winning comes in 4 ways. Okay. 1, you got to do the work. If you're not willing to do the work, it's not going to work for you. Okay. So you've got to be willing to do the work, but then you've got to be willing to improve, and you got to be able to learn. This is why people go to masterminds, right? To be in community so they can steal little nuggets and add it to their life. And after adding it to their life, they can implement it in their business. But you know what you don't get at communities? You don't get people to help you execute. You have to come back. This is what it did. I want to help you execute. Okay. But the work is not enough. The second thing you have to do is you have to improve. You have to gradually get better and better. If you're going to find more deals, what got you your first deal will not get you your 100th. Okay. What got you your first 15 deals will not get you to $2 million. What got you your first single family deal will not get you your first commercial property. You have to do things you've never done before. I have to do things I've never done before if I'm going to get to the next level. So that second thing is you've got to constantly improve. If you can't improve, if you're unwilling to improve, if you're a guy who says, I will not read a book, I won't do this, I'm sorry, but you might jump in, you might be willing to do hard work, but you'll never have the paradigm shift that says, dude, we could do that, because you were learning 1, 2, or 3 things. And so focus on improving if you want to win. Number 3 is the right strategy, which I want to bring to the table for you so you don't have to take 5 years learning. And 4, you've got to be willing to outlast the people around you. I can't tell you, I started this business 10 years ago. Everybody I started with is no longer in the business. Every single person. I probably shouldn't say every single person. Someone's going to reach out to me like, Ronnie, I'm still here. Most of them are not here. Okay. The people who've lasted the longest, they can tell you that there are horror stories of people who fall out of the business because people give up. People get knocked out. Like I said earlier with the times, people get hit hard, right? They get hit hard and they change directions, there's not a problem with that. But there's a reason why winning is lasting through the hard times. When my bank account hit $3,000 when I'm spending literally like $2,000 to $10,000 a week in marketing, I didn't know what to do, right? I literally freaked out, and I had to say, okay, how do I follow up with everybody else that I do? And what systems do I need to put in place? And in a month and a half, I made more money than I had ever made in my entire life, like 2 years combined, by adjusting and switching. But having that and being able to have the willpower to realize, you know what, in 10 years, this is what people are going to say about me. Here's what my family's going to think. Here's how I'm going to live with my kids. Here's what this is what their dad's going to look like. this is what we get to do. We get to go to Ireland. We get to, go on these amazing adventures. We get to live by the beach. We get to live in a really cool house. All of these things are people who have the willpower to get through it. So all that being said, that's the push there. Okay. All that being said, if you are having difficult times landing deals, right? If you're one of the wholesalers that is just really struggling with doubt, with fear, with the economy, with is the recession good for me? If you find yourself paralyzed in seeking out opportunities to find deals, reach out to us. Okay. If you're frustrated, if you're just frustrated with, I don't know where to spend the money. I don't know what I should do next. I'm not really sure. I'm just going to wait it out and see. Reach out and check it out. Okay. If you're one of those guys who are just sitting around and you just lack clear talking points when you're talking to sellers and you really want to level up as a guy, that's who this is for. That's where it is. I'm talking to me of 5 years ago, because me 5 years ago, me 8 years ago, I loved it. I was engaged. I was making good money, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And it was so frustrating. And I felt like it was always greener pastures. If you are in the position that I was even just a few years ago, this is for you, because this is for me. This is for me from a couple years ago. And I think that this is what has worked for me. It doesn't work for everybody. People have different systems. This has worked for me, and I want to give this to you. And here's the other cool thing. If you want to skip ahead and you just want to learn more, go to acquisitionsuniversity.com. Check it out. Matt has done a great job putting it together on what it looks like. Just go check it out. But with this, here's what I want to commit. I want to personally ensure that you do your first deal in this thing. That if you invest in me, that I am saying, I'm going to make sure that you win, that you're going to walk through it, right? I will walk you through it, or as I'm working it, I will hand a deal of mine to you. I will literally hand a deal of mine to you to make sure you walk into this and you're not saying, I have nothing. Number two, the second thing I will do is I'll guarantee this thing will pay for itself. I guarantee this thing will pay for itself. You'll make your money back, or I'll work with you for free by working the leads that we set up for you until a deal closes. I'll work them to make sure you get the money back and make sure you make this happen in the course. Okay. So that's number two. We'll get your first deal, or I'll give you one of mine. I'll work your leads for free until you make that money back, and we'll figure out how to split it or whatever. And number three, the big question that I would have is, what happens if the whole economy crashes, right? And I go out of business? What happens? What happens if I give my money to somebody? I hit the microphone, sorry. Give my money to somebody, and then I go out of business. I need that money back, right? I need it. So what happens? If the market collapses, resulting in the closure of your business, here's the cool thing, is real estate will collapse as well, which means I will be buying at that point, okay? If that happens, we will cover the cost of the investment in the program with REI profits, with profits from deals we're doing from real estate, and cover that initial investment. My goal is not to take the money and disappear. My goal is to get you to $250,000 so you can win, so you can experience freedom. That's what I want to do. If I can help you achieve mastery in real estate acquisitions, that's a win for me. That is a massive win for me. So go to acquisitionsuniversity.com, hit the learn more button, figure it out, get on my calendar. I will personally talk to you. If I get crazy busy or whatever, it is limited. I can't work with everybody, but there's some other cool stuff for groups, for community, some really cool stuff there as well. If you guys want to be a part of this journey that I'm on, and you want to join me, and you want to come with me, and you want to be a part of the inner circle and the entourage, I want to invite you. I want some really cool people. I want to be on the journey. I want to make a whole bunch of money together, and think of it as an adventure. There's going to be twists. There's going to be turns. There's going to be tigers. There's going to be gorillas. There's going to be freaking, D&D monsters that come out and scare the hell out of you. But we get to face it together. And we get to be that adventuring party who's going through and slaying the monsters and making the money and getting the glory that we want. That's why we're ambitious. because we have these dreams, we have these goals, and we want this freedom. And I want to be the guy who accomplishes that. That way I can look back and I can say, look what I did. Look what it looked like, and have an awesome story that I can tell my kids, my grandkids, and I can show them that reaching and grasping your goal is possible. So if you want to join me and you're willing to be a part, you're willing to stay the course, do that. Reach out to me. Like I said, your first deal, you're one deal away from $8,000 to $18,000, and you're 15 deals away from $250,000. I can help you there. So guys, that's what I got for 2023. We've got a whole bunch of cool stuff for the real estate side. We got cool stuff for West Michigan. But I hope if you guys are feeling like, yo, this is something I want, that you'll just reach out. There's no obligation. I'm not going to try to do a crazy pitch or whatever. Reach out, because I think it could be for you. And I really do want to help, and I want to create that community. So go to acquisitionsuniversity.com, reach out to me, get on my schedule. And guys, thank you so much for wishing my son a happy birthday. And I hope that 2023 is as awesome as you are planning it to be. Until next time, guys, peace.